Calen, please tell me this isn't true. He didn't look up from his phone. What are you talking about? I shoved the magazine across the table. Page 12. My design. The one I showed you 3 weeks ago. Why is Livia wearing it in the Varelli show? He blinked, skimmed the page, then scoffed. It's a coincidence. Lots of people design floral-stitched suits. I laughed. It sounded more like a crack. With a diagonal tulip seam and crossbody clasp? That design took me 2 months. He finally looked at me. Elara, don't make this a scene. Maybe you left your sketchpad out. Maybe she saw it. I trusted you. I showed you the draft before anyone. And now the same exact piece shows up on Livia? On her? And you're gaslighting me? Don't be dramatic, he muttered, standing up. I grabbed his sleeve. You told me she was your friend too. That you'd never let anything hurt me. I believed you. His eyes went cold. Your paranoia isn't my fault. My chest hurt. So you're not denying it. He stepped back. What's there to deny? Maybe she just worked harder. Maybe you were sloppy. I froze. Sloppy? I mean, come on, Elara. You think you're the only one trying to make it in fashion? I whispered, you told me I was going to win this year's pitch. He turned away. Guess I was wrong. Wrong? That word echoed in my skull as he walked out. No apology. No guilt. Just silence. The next day, the notice hit my inbox. Dear Ms. Wren, due to the plagiarism accusation and pending legal review, your contract is suspended. I reread it. 10 times. Maybe more. My phone buzzed. Livia. I answered, voice shaking. How could you? Elara? What's wrong? You know what? You stole my work. You wore it. On the runway. Oh my God. You think Elara, I designed that piece months ago. Liar. I'd never steal from you. You're my best friend. Maybe someone else copied yours? My designs weren't even public. She paused. Then, softly, you've been really stressed lately. Maybe you're confused. Confused? My voice cracked. Don't you dare twist this. Elara, you're scaring me. Maybe you should talk to someone. I hung up. I didn't eat. Didn't sleep. I watched every online thread shred my name. Copycat. Fraud. Attention seeker. And neither of them defended me. 3 days later, I got the eviction notice. I packed everything in 2 suitcases and wandered outside. The world blurred through tears. Headlights flared in the dark, but I didn't move. A voice shouted, "Hey! Watch out!" Then, screeching tires. Shattering glass. Pain. Silence. I gasped. The ceiling fan spun above me, slow, steady, humming like nothing had changed. But everything had. No, I whispered. No way. I jumped out of bed. My phone lay on the nightstand. The date flashed, 6 months ago. I staggered into the kitchen. The chipped mug. The coffee stain. The crumpled note on the fridge from Livia, lunch later? You need fresh air. I nearly dropped it. I'm back, I breathed. I'm actually back. My phone buzzed. Livia, don't forget the Varelli pitch is next week. We've got this. Red heart, I stared at the message, my hand trembling. No. I've got this. My doorbell rang. I already knew who it was. Morning, sunshine. Livia grinned as I opened the door. Still in pajamas? Come on, you'll make us late. Late for what? I asked slowly. She laughed. Our daily caffeine run? You always forget when you're overthinking designs. My heart pounded. I forced a smile. Right. Coffee. As we walked, I watched her. Every gesture. Every fake smile. I remembered her hugging me while stabbing me in the back. "You're quiet today," she said. "You okay?" "Just thinking." "About?" "The pitch. And trust." She blinked. "Deep for 9 a.m. You ever worry someone close might betray you?" She laughed too fast. "God, no." "Why, did Calen say something?" There it was. Always ready to shift attention. I tilted my head. "Why would Calen come up?" She smirked. "Well, he's your boyfriend. Kinda relevant." She bumped my shoulder. "Okay, what's with the spooky vibes? You're not accusing me of something, are you?" "No," I said sweetly. "Why would I accuse someone who's always been loyal?" She blinked, a flicker in her eyes. "Exactly." At the cafe, I excused myself and called Calen. "Hey babe," he answered. "You okay?" "I had a weird dream," I said. "Felt like you turned on me. Like, you watched me fall and didn't care." "Sounds heavy," he said flatly. "You know dreams aren't real, right?" I stared at the wall. "Some feel more real than people." He chuckled. "You're acting off. Are you on something?" "No. Just awake for the first time." He sighed. "All right, well, text me when you're normal again." Click. I stared at the black screen. So it begins. Back at the table, Livia smiled. "Better now?" I sipped my drink. "Much." "What changed?" I remembered who I am. She tilted her head. "Since when do you talk in riddles?" "Since I stopped playing the fool." She blinked, clearly thrown. "Are you sure you're okay?" "I'm perfect," I said. "Really?" Because now, I wasn't just the girl who got betrayed. I was the girl who came back knowing everything. "You're submitting that?" Calen asked, eyebrows raised. "Yeah," I said, handing him the folder. "My latest design, velour eclipse." He flipped through the sketches, nodding. "It's bold." "Too bold?" No. Just, not your usual." I smiled. Thought I'd experiment. He tapped the folder. "You trust me with this? Don't I always?" He grinned. "Right." I watched him tuck the folder into his bag like it was gold. I tilted my head. "You're heading to the office?" "Meeting with Weston. Might pitch your concept if it fits." "Oh?" I blinked. "Without asking?" He paused. "Well, I thought it might help you." "Of course." "Totally fine," I said sweetly. "Pitch away." 3 days later, the sketch leaked online, minor tweaks, same signature cuts, different name. He didn't even try to hide it. I texted him. Me, "Hey, you pitch velour eclipse?" Calen, "Didn't get the chance." "Why?" Me, "Just curious. Saw something familiar floating around." No reply. The next morning, I left an old prototype sketch, one Livia never saw, half visible on my desk. Right on cue, she strolled in. "Hey," she chirped. "Ooh, what's this?" Her eyes darted to the page. "Oh, that?" I waved it off. "Just an old idea I scrapped." "Looks kinda brilliant for a scrap," she muttered. "You think so?" She smiled. "Maybe you're better than you think." The next week, her newest design submission featured that exact sketch, with rhinestones. I didn't even get mad. I wrote it all in my notebook. Calen, design leak confirmed. Livia, sketch mimic success. "Hey," a voice said behind me. I jumped. "Avery?" He leaned on the doorway. "Didn't mean to scare you." "What's up?" He held up a USB. These are the entry logs from last night. Someone accessed your folder. My heart thumped. You got this how? IT owes me favors. I stared at him. Why would you even check? I saw Livia scanning your desk last week. And Calen asked me if we logged submission timestamps. And you thought? I thought you were being too quiet, he said. And you're never quiet without a reason. I exhaled. Thank you. He glanced at my notebook. Is that a hit list? Evidence, I said. They think I'm stupid. You're not. You're just trusting. Not anymore. Avery hesitated. What are you planning? Nothing illegal, I said. But I want the truth out. And I want them exposed. He handed me the USB. This'll help. I blinked. Why are you helping me? He shrugged. Because I hate snakes. You think they're working together? I think Calen's chasing credit, and Livia's chasing attention. You're just the latter. My throat tightened. I thought they loved me. Avery looked away. They loved what you gave them. I whispered, I'm going to bury them with the lies they built. You sure? I nodded. I'm done being the victim. He smirked. Then let's plant some seeds. I smiled. Already did. And for the first time, the garden of revenge began to bloom. Hey, Calen said, flashing that rehearsed smile. Been thinking about you. I tilted my head. Really? Yeah. I miss us. You mean you miss having access to my designs? He laughed awkwardly. Come on, Elara. Don't be like that. I'm just teasing, I said, smiling. Let's not fight. His eyes lit up. So, we're good? We're better than good, I said, touching his arm. I've been working on something. Yeah? I slid a folder across the table. My newest piece. I haven't shown anyone. He flipped through the pages greedily. This is, damn. This could headline. Think so? Absolutely. Trust me. I'll make sure it gets noticed. I leaned closer. I trust you, Calen. He smiled like he'd already won. That night, I met Avery behind the building. You really gave him the fake one? He asked. I nodded. He bit like a starving dog. Is it secure? I registered the real one last week under my alias. You're not playing, huh? No, I said. I'm finishing the game. Avery handed me a flash drive. Orion reviewed your anonymous submission. And? They're in. They want it as their exclusive for the international showcase. I took a shaky breath. What about the NDA? Signed. You're protected. And Ms. Day? She wants a call. I blinked. She knows I used a fake name. She doesn't care. She respects the move. 2 days later, I sat in a small office, heart racing. A voice answered, clipped and sharp. Ms. Rivers, or should I say Ms. Wren? I didn't want the name to be a distraction. It wasn't. The design spoke louder. Thank you. I assume this piece will not appear anywhere else? Of course not. Good, she said. We'll launch it under our brand. Full credit to you, when you're ready. And Livia? She'll fall flat. We don't back plagiarists. I exhaled. That's all I need. Welcome to Orion. I hung up, shaking. Later that week, Livia burst into the lounge, grinning. Guess who's headlining? The showcase? Let me guess, I said. You? Damn right. Calen submitted my latest, Moonglass Inferno. They loved it. I bit back a laugh. That's impressive. I know, she said, flipping her hair. Told you I had it in me. You've always had something. She narrowed her eyes. What's that mean? Nothing. I sipped my tea. Break a leg. The day of the showcase arrived. I watched the live stream alone. The screen lit up with the Orion logo. The crowd roared as my design debuted. Livia's face appeared next, proudly walking in with Moonglass Inferno, my fake. Then the murmurs started. Phones came out. Comparisons flooded social media. A host's voice broke through. Interesting, looks like this design was released hours ago by Orion. Identical, down to the stitch. The audience gasped. Cameras zoomed in on Livia's stunned face. Calen, beside her, looked like he wanted to disappear. I whispered, "That's the last time you smile like that." My phone buzzed. "Miss Day, nicely done." "Avery, you watching this train wreck?" "Me, front row seat." I leaned back and let the chaos play out. I didn't scream. I didn't gloat. I just smiled. For real this time. "Is that?" Avery leaned forward. "It's happening." "Play it," I said, curling up on the couch with popcorn. He hit the remote. The fashion show highlight reel flashed on screen. "There she is," he muttered. "Queen Livia." Livia strutted out, smiling like she owned the world. I snorted. "Wait for it." The host's voice cut in. "A curious development, Orion's flagship design, released this morning, appears nearly identical to the one closing the show." The screen split. My design on one side. Her knockoff on the other. "Boom," I whispered. Avery chuckled. "That's not just a crack. That's a sinkhole." Suddenly the cameras zoomed in on her confused face. Calen stood behind her, stiff as stone. I bit a popcorn kernel. Guess he didn't prep her for this part. The host continued. "Orion has filed an official complaint for intellectual property theft. Sources suggest legal action is pending." "Oh," Avery said, pointing. "There it is." Panic face. "Watch his hand," I said. "He's about to let go." Calen stepped forward, took the mic, and cleared his throat. We had no prior knowledge the design was duplicated. We distance ourselves from this unfortunate breach. Livia's jaw dropped. "Calen, what are you?" He stepped back. "I can't be part of this." "Are you serious?" she shouted, mic still live. "You told me to use it." Gasps echoed across the venue. I blinked. He really threw her under the bus. Avery shook his head. Classic survival mode. Scumbag style. The show cut back to the hosts. Well, that escalated. I muted the screen. "It's done." Avery turned to me. "You okay?" I stared ahead. I should be thrilled, right? They're burning. You sound like you're not. "I don't know." I sighed. "I thought I'd feel more. You wanted justice." "I got it." "But?" I shrugged. "It feels empty." He leaned back. "Because it doesn't fix what they broke in you." I looked at him. "Then what does?" "Time. Purpose. Something beyond revenge. I spent months planning this. Every move. Every lie. And now, it's just quiet. Silence hits harder than screams." I nodded slowly. "And I thought this would be the loudest moment of my life." He stood. "You're not them, Elara. Don't become them." "I won't." "You sure?" "I wanted them exposed, not ruined." "They ruined themselves," he said. "You just lit the match." I whispered, "Why do I feel like I burned with them?" He looked at me gently. "Because you gave too much of yourself to people who never deserved you." I closed my eyes. "So what now?" "You start over. For you this time." I nodded. He smiled. "And maybe next time, don't fake a design that's better than the real one." I cracked a laugh. "No promises." "What's this?" I muttered, pulling the old box from under my bed. Dust puffed up as I lifted the lid. Letters. Dozens. Folded. Unsent. Each one in my handwriting. No way, I whispered. I forgot about these. I picked one up. Elara, don't trust them. They smile too easily. I sat on the floor, knees tucked in. My hands shook as I unfolded another. You're losing yourself. I hate how much you still care. Tears welled up. I remember writing this, after Calen told me I was too emotional to lead a team. The next letter stung worse. If I disappear tomorrow, would anyone even notice? My voice cracked. I can't believe I thought that. A knock at the door made me flinch. Yeah? I called. It's me, Avery said. You decent? Come in. He stepped in and frowned. You okay? I held up a letter. Found some ghosts. He sat beside me. What are those? Letters to myself. I never mailed them. I just hid them. He picked one up. Read silently. Then looked at me. This one's dated 4 days before your crash. Yeah, I said. Back when I thought love could fix betrayal. He nodded slowly. You wrote like you were trying to hold yourself together. I was. Silence hung for a second. I don't know how I made it through all this. You didn't, he said gently. You restarted. I was so full of hate, I whispered. Every move I made, every step, it was all revenge. Not all, he said. You protected your work. Your name. I don't know who I am without the fire. You're still you. Just not burning anymore. I stared at the box. These words, they're not who I want to be now. Then let them go. You think I should toss them? I think you should finish reading them. Then decide. I nodded and picked another. One day, you'll read this and realize you were never weak, just wounded. My chest tightened. That one. I don't even remember writing it. Avery touched my shoulder. That version of you still matters. I feel like I betrayed her. No. You survived for her. I wiped my eyes. I don't want to live in revenge anymore. He smiled. Then don't. I looked at him. You always know what to say. Nope. I just show up. I chuckled. Thanks for showing up. Always. I held the box in my lap. Heavy. Honest. Mine. Maybe healing didn't start with letting go of the pain. Maybe it started with listening to it. And choosing something better. Elara. I froze. That voice. Elara, please. Don't shut the door. I didn't. I stepped aside. You've got 5 minutes. Calen walked in slowly, like the air was too heavy for him. I didn't know where else to go, he said. Try someone you didn't betray. He winced. I deserve that. You deserve worse. He looked down. I messed up. Messed up? I laughed. You abandoned me when everything collapsed. I panicked, he said. It wasn't supposed to go that far. No, you just didn't think you'd get caught. I never meant to hurt you. I stared at him. Then why did you? I was scared. Livia said, stop, I cut in. Don't even try to blame her. I'm not. I was stupid. Stupid enough to throw me under a bus on national television? His face twisted. I was trying to protect myself. You were trying to stay relevant. That's not fair. No, Calen. You know what's not fair? Being dragged through the mud while you stood there and watched. He stepped closer. I regret it every day. Do you? I miss you. I blinked. Do you even remember what you said to me the day you left? He hesitated. I I said we needed space. I stared at him. No. You said, no one cares about your sob story, Elara. Grow up. His mouth opened, then closed. I didn't, you did, I said. And I remember it word for word. He sat down heavily. I didn't mean it. I was angry. Cornered. You were selfish. You always were. He looked up, eyes glassy. Can we just go back? Please. Start over. There is no we anymore. I still love you. No, you love what I was becoming. The spotlight. The fame. The connections. That's not true. It is, I said calmly. You love the version of me that gave you access. Not the one who lost everything. He stood. So that's it? That's it. He stared at me, desperate. You're not even going to give me a chance. I folded my arms. You had a chance. You watched it burn. He stepped toward the door, then turned back. You're different now. I had to be. His eyes shimmered. I really am sorry. I believe you, I said. But I don't care anymore. He nodded slowly. Then walked out, shoulders slumped. I closed the door behind him. And I didn't feel a thing. You think this is funny? Livia's voice cut through the quiet like a knife. I turned slowly. Not funny. Predictable. She stormed toward me, mascara smudged, jaw clenched. You ruined my life, Elara. I didn't leak your design, I said calmly. You did. You set me up. You wanted me to fall. I tilted my head. Did I force you to steal? Her hands shook. You knew I'd use it. You left it there, on purpose. You mean the fake sketch you claimed as yours? She blinked. You planned this from the start. Correction, I said. I planned it after you stabbed me in the back. I made one mistake. One? I snapped. You lied, stole my work, stood on stage wearing my ideas, and let the world mock me. I didn't think you'd lose everything. You didn't care if I did. I was trying to survive, she hissed. You always had the talent. The attention. And you had the choice to be better, I said. You weren't desperate. You were greedy. I needed that win. At what cost? I stepped closer. Do you remember my face the day I was fired? She went silent. I begged you to believe me. You hugged me. Then walked off wearing my design. She looked away. I didn't think they'd fire me. Well, they did. Sponsors pulled out. Your name's off every list. Orion won't touch you. Even Calen left. She flinched. He's a coward. We agree on something. She grabbed my arm. Fix this. I stared at her hand until she let go. I can't fix what you chose to break. I made a mistake, she whispered. I thought you were done. Done? I repeated. You were. Heartbroken. Broken. I thought you'd fade away. Well, I said, I didn't. I rebuilt. You could have warned me, she whispered. You didn't have to destroy me. You destroyed yourself. Her lips parted, but no words came. I didn't post the comparison, I added. I didn't call the lawyers. Karma did that. You don't feel even a little sorry? No, I said simply. I feel relief. She stared at the floor. I waited. When she said nothing, I turned. Elara, she called softly. I looked back. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry. I nodded once. I know. Then I walked away. Not to prove anything. But because she wasn't worth standing still for. You've done impressive work, Miss Day said, folding her hands. Orion could use someone like you permanently. I blinked. You're offering me a full position? She nodded. Lead designer. Your line. Full creative control. I swallowed hard. That's a lot. You've earned it. I hesitated. Can I think about it? Of course. But not too long. Talent like yours doesn't stay hidden. I left her office with the offer burning in my pocket. Let me guess, Avery said as we met outside. She made it official. Lead designer, I said. His eyes widened. You serious? I don't know how to feel. Proud might be a good place to start. I'm tired, Avery. Of what? Fighting. Winning. Carrying it all alone. You're not alone now. I glanced at him. Why do you care so much? Because I like you, he said simply. And because watching you destroy people was fun, but I want to see what you create when you're not trying to survive. I don't even know what that looks like. Then come with me. I frowned. Where? A trip. Out of the city. No designs, no plotting. Just space to breathe. Running away? Resetting. For a week. Then decide what you really want. I looked down. What if I want both? He smiled. Then take both. Just don't forget to live while you build. I stared out at the street. I almost lost myself. You didn't, he said. You just buried her. And you think I can dig her back out? I think you already did. I sighed. Okay. 1 week. Somewhere quiet. No laptops. No promises. He grinned. Deal. The wind tugged at my coat as I looked up at the sky. For the first time, it didn't feel heavy. I think I'm ready. For what? To stop surviving. And start living. He reached for my hand. Let's go, Ben. I squeezed his fingers. And I walked forward, not for revenge. But for me. Ready? Avery whispered. I nodded, eyes locked on the runway. More than ever. They're already calling it the show of the year. I don't care about that, I said. Not this time. He smiled. Then what do you care about? That I did this honestly. That I didn't have to destroy anyone to be seen. You were always worth seeing. I took a deep breath. This is the first design I didn't make out of fear. And it shows. The music shifted. Lights dimmed. My name echoed through the speakers. Elara Wren, debuting her newest line, Phoenix Thread. Avery nudged me. That's your cue. I'm not walking out. Why not? They don't need to see my face. But they should. I'm just the hands behind the thread, I said. Let the work speak. The crowd erupted. Cameras flashed. Models walked in perfect sync. I watched from behind the curtain, heart pounding. This feels different, I whispered. Because it's real, Avery said. No masks. No lies. No stolen pieces. Just you. I looked at him. Thank you. For what? For believing I could rise from this. He reached for my hand. You didn't just rise, Elara. You flew. I let the applause wash over me. It wasn't for revenge. It wasn't for drama. It was for the girl who refused to break. The girl who rebuilt herself from everything they tried to burn. And this time, I clapped too.